Right guys, so I'm just going to go through question 4, so there's a few people struggling with question 4, okay, so we're just going to go through it. So basically what we have is a plan and an elevation of a cone. We have our section plane here, which is obviously cutting the cone in elevation, so you can see it here, the green plane, cutting the cone. We're obviously going to end up with an ellipse, alright. We've already drawn the ellipse for you in plan, okay, so the ellipse is already drawn for you in plan, okay. The first part of the question you're asked to do here is to find the axis, the vertex, the focus, directrix, and then to draw the ellipse. So obviously you're going to draw the ellipse as an auxiliary, okay. To see the through shape of an ellipse, we need to draw an auxiliary looking perpendicular, in other words 90 degrees, so perpendicular to the cutting plane, okay. So there's the cutting plane, alright, so that's the cutting plane, we're going to look at it 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to draw an auxiliary. I think this question is at 30 degrees, it is. Okay, so I'm going to draw x1, y1. So you always have an x1, y1 line for your auxiliary. Alright, and then we're going to take up the two vertex. Okay, so we know automatically, I'll just mark them out here, you automatically have vertex 1 and vertex 2 there. So it's where the cone is cut by the plane. That gives you the two vertex, which is obviously the two ends of the ellipse. So I'm going to just extend them on up. Okay. Now the next thing we want to find is the axis, alright. So we already have the two vertex points taken up, but to find them up here I need the axis. So what you're going to have to do is measure down from the XY line in plan. So down from the original XY line down to the axis here, so my measurements come up with 46 millimeters. So I'm going to measure up from this XY line, the same thing, 46 mil, and I'm going to draw another line across there, and that is the axis. Okay, so vertex 1 comes up to here, and vertex 2 comes up to there. Okay, so the ellipse is obviously going to be inside here somewhere. Okay, so already we've found our axis and we've found our vertex, okay. We're also asked to find the focus and the directrix. Now, to find the focus and the directrix in this style of a question here, we need to use the focal sphere method, okay. So we need to use our focal sphere method, which is basically, in an ellipse, basically all conics have at least one focal sphere, alright. I can tell you an ellipse will always have two focal spheres, one above the cutting plane and one below the cutting plane. Okay, the focal spheres are tangential to the cone and the cutting plane, so there'll be a tangent to the cone and the cutting plane. So this one will be a tangent to the cone and the cutting plane, and so will the bigger one down there. So we'll explain that now in a little more. Alright, effectively it's like putting a ball inside a cone, alright, into the tip of a cone. Alright. So what we have to do is bisect the angle between this section plane and a side of the cone. So obviously the cone has two sides, we're going to pick a side of the cone. Alright, so I'm going to draw the focal sphere up here first. So I'm going to use this side of the cone, my right hand side, and the cutting plane, okay. So I'm going to use them two sides, and we're going to draw our sphere, okay. So the first thing to do is to bisect the angle, alright. So the angle between the cutting plane and the original of the cone. So I'm going to bisect them. This back to first year. Bisecting an angle. Okay, so I get a point here. So I'm going to join the vertex through that point. Okay, where that point crosses the axis is where I'm going to draw my focal sphere. Okay. I'm going to put a point of my compass there. That's obviously going to be the length, and you should be able to draw a sphere perfectly inside, okay, and it'll be touching the cutting plane and the two edges of the cone perfectly, okay. Now, the focus is very easy to get. The focus is going to go down parallel to the side of the cone, okay, so you can use your sliding set squares for this, okay. That point coming down there, so I'll use a different colour. Okay, so that would be focal point 1. Alright, to take focal point 1 up, I'm going to take it up parallel. So this time it's going to be parallel to our lines going up, so it's going to be parallel to this line. So focal point 1 is going to come up there, and that is focal point 1. Okay, so now we find focal point 2 obviously, and if we draw the second sphere. Okay, so I've got the focus of the top sphere. Now I want to find the directrix. The directrix will be out here somewhere. To find the directrix, I need to take a line up parallel to the cutting plane. So parallel, so I'll draw it in black here. So it's parallel to the cutting plane. Alright. That gives me a point here on the edge of the cone. And then I'm going to draw a straight line from that point, just a straight line the whole way across, like that. That line is representing this grey line down here. Okay, so this grey plane here is being represented by this here. Okay, so that plane will then give us our point for the directrix where it meets the cutting plane, which in this case is here. That will be my directrix for that side. Very simply, like everything else, you take it up to your auxiliary. Alright, and I'm just going to darken it in here a little bit. Okay, so that is my directrix. Okay, so I have one side done for part A, need to do the other side. So the exact same thing. I'm going to bisect the angle down here, so I'm going to use the side of the cone on the cutting plane. I'm going to bisect the angle like that. Back to first year, so get the point, I'll take it from the vertex. Okay, and our point is here, so it's going to be a lot bigger, the second focal sphere. Again, do the compass in the middle, out to the edge, so it'll be roughly there. Okay, and you'll draw your sphere. Alright, so draw your sphere. Alright, and again, that's my focal sphere there. So to get the focal point, we're going to go parallel to the edge of the cone again. So I'm going to go parallel to this edge here. If you take it up, you get a point up here. That will be focal point 2. Okay, so remember that's parallel to the edge. Then I'm going to take it up 90 degrees to all these lines. That gives me focal point 2. Okay, so now we have the two focuses. So we have the axis, the vertex, and the two focuses. We need to get the second directrix before we draw our ellipse up here. Okay, so again, to get the directrix, we're going to draw a line that is parallel to or 90 degrees to the edge of the cone in this case. So we're going to have a line coming out here. Okay, so it's perpendicular. That gives me a point. And I will then draw the other plane, the other horizontal plane, and that gives me a point where it meets the cutting plane here. That will be my second directrix, and I'm going to take it up here. Okay, and that's the second directrix. Okay, so now we have all endpoints. The last part of A is to draw the ellipse. Alright, now to draw the ellipse, it's going to be the same as the question 3 that you should have already done. We're going to have to take points up using this one up here to draw it. Okay, so the easiest thing I find to do is to split this up 60-30. So I'm just going to split the top half up 60-30, that's all you need. Quickly. So once you split it up then 60-30, you should all know already what to do. You just take your points up to the elevation, and where they cross the cutting plane you'll take them up. Alright, so I have these points. We don't need these 2 points because they are focal points, we already have them. Or sorry, our vertex, which we already have. So once you get them points, I'm going to take that point up. You're going to take all these points up to where they touch directrix. Okay, and then you're going to take them up that angle there. So that's 1, 2. So you might find it easy to label these points as you're taking them up. The last one there is very, very close to the edge. Alright. The last thing to do then is measure from the axis up to the point. So the first point there is 1, so I'm going to come 1 at either side. Next one is 15. 15 either side. And we go over here, that one is 15 as well. Point there, a point there, and the last one 5. A point there, and a point there. So once you have all your points, you're just going to join them together. Alright, very quickly I'll join them together, and that will give you your ellipse. Alright, so that's very roughly question 1 finished. Alright. Part B then, label the following in your drawing. So just label the section, because I have most of these already labelled for you. The 2 directrix are labelled here, and they're also, the points are labelled there and there, down there. So that's the directrix. The horizontal cutting plane is the 2 yellow points, so horizontal cutting plane, horizontal cutting plane. So they're the 2 yellow lines I have here, or the grey and 3D down there. The focal points I have labelled. The focal spheres is obviously the 2 circles that you've drawn. The vertex we have labelled up here in orange and down here, and the section plane is obviously the green cut plane there, alright, which is there. So that is A and B done for question 4. Alright, so there's one I've done earlier, it's probably easier to see, be a bit tidier, alright.